Coming up on News Live at 6, Marshall Street shut down. Find out why 2 stores were charged by the state and forced to close.
Plus, new details on the Bruce Springsteen concert that was postponed earlier this month and when you can expect to see him at the Dome.
And another shooting on Sunday in the city of Syracuse. How neighbors are responding. News Live at 6 starts right now. Two shops on Marshall Street are forced to shut down. Welcome to News Live at 6. I'm Maddie Stelk.
And I'm Jesse Cook. New at 6, NY Exotics and Escape Exotics were charged by the state's cannabis management with selling marijuana illegally. Syracuse code enforcement also cited both of these shops as unfit for human occupancy. Citrus TV's Max Williams spoke with SCU students today looking to go into the stores.
Yeah, guys, take a look behind me. This is New York Exotic, just one of the many stores that were shut down. The door is boarded up, and inside there's very little inventory. Now, as you see on your screen, that is Escape Exotic, just down the street, that was also shut down. I was down here earlier today, and many residents and students walking by are just in complete shock. What's not working? Some technical difficulties there, but also Mayor Ben Walsh commented on this, saying they are flagrantly ignoring the state's requirement to be licensed to sell adult-use cannabis products, end quote. And it's uncertain if these stores will reopen or if they will get a permit. But for now, live in Syracuse, Max Williams, Citrus TV News.
Max, thank you. We apologize for the technical difficulties. New details back on the Hill. SU is hosting a special event tomorrow in honor of Korean Thanksgiving Day. Students can head to the Shine Student Center to enjoy 8 different kinds of traditional games, many of which are featured in the Netflix hit Squid Game. The festivities begin tomorrow evening at 5:30 until 7 p.m.
And happening now at the Dome, both Whitman and Newhouse have partnered together to host a business and communications career fair.
It provides a...
The fair allows students to meet employers in fields from accounting to journalism. Be sure to come with business attire and your resume, as well as a smile. The fair will run until 7 tonight and is open to all majors.
And more events ahead at the Dome. Bruce Springsteen is set to perform his postponed concert here in Syracuse next year. The rock singer posted to X earlier today saying the rescheduled date will be announced next week, adding that all original tickets purchased will remain valid. This comes as the singer continues to battle peptic ulcer disease, which led him to cancel the night before his concert earlier this month. And last week, Mayor Ben Walsh signed a law restricting new tobacco retailers from opening up in Syracuse. The law was passed in hopes of limiting the amount of stores that can sell devices containing nicotine. Here to tell us how it is affecting local businesses and about the future of purchasing cigarettes and vaping devices in the Salt City is Citrus TV's Luke Welch.
Maddie, good evening. It was earlier this month when Mayor Ben Walsh officially signed a bill to create extensive restrictions on selling tobacco and nicotine products in the 315. Walsh has been working since July to pass these limitations, which were approved by the Syracuse Common Council on the 5th of this month. Now, officials of the Salt City approved this legislation in hopes of keeping harmful smoking and vaping products out of the hands of minors. Ben Walsh would say in a press conference that this is a matter of public health. As our own Max Williams reported earlier, stores are closing down around Syracuse for the illegal selling of marijuana. With these new limitations being enforced, tobacco stores will face a similar fate if owners refuse to follow these guidelines that will be instated come October 1st. And those include retailers must maintain a city tobacco retail license, which was not previously required before. New retailers cannot open within 750 feet of an existing store that sells tobacco or e-vaping devices. New shops can only open if 2 tobacco retailing licenses expire in hopes of reducing the amount of tobacco stores in general. And new locations can now open within 750 feet of a school or public park. Now again, all these efforts are to reduce the amount of minors using tobacco and e-vaping products, but also to reduce the amount of stores offering these products to create a healthier city of Syracuse. Reporting in the studio, I'm Luke Welch, CitrusTV News. Guys.
Our Luke Welch, thank you. Turning now to our first weather report. Jesse, I'm loving the fall weather, but there's also some sunshine too. So the clouds aren't there. It was a nice sunny day today, but also still that crisp weather, so I could wear my sweaters, which are my favorite.
I know, it was the first look. Maddie, we're both from cold weather areas.
Yes, we are.
This was the first time all year that I've put on a sweatshirt while going outside. I like that I didn't have to wear the umbrella with it too, like earlier this week.
Right. Well, let's turn to our weather reporter, Luke Radel. Luke, do we keep having to wear our sweatshirts and long sleeves?
Maddie and Jesse, I'm a lifelong Central New Yorker, and I'm not used to not wearing long sleeve shirts and long pants at this time of year. The weather outside is delightful, 68 degrees and sunny skies. You see that view outside my window this morning, partly cloudy. We got some visibility for 31 miles, meaning if you stood atop of a really tall building today in Syracuse, you could see all the way to Turning Stone Casino in Verona, New York, a place where I'm sure some of you folks out there have been. And speaking of casinos, let's bring up our CitrusTV weather slot machine to see what weather we have in store for us in the next couple of days. Let's take a look at the chance for sun this weekend. Sunny, sunny, sunny. Guys, I'll have your full 5-day forecast later on in the show.
Our weather anchor, Luke Radel, thank you. That was awesome. But a man is in stable condition after he says he was shot in Armory Square early Sunday morning. As our Nicole Ponte reports, another report of a shooting downtown comes as no surprise to neighbors.
The 25-year-old was standing right here in the street in Armory Square when he thought he heard fireworks. He then told police that he saw 2 gunshot wounds in his legs. Another shooting downtown has become all too familiar for Gina Brainerd.
You're desensitized at this point because it happens kind of semi-frequently.
She works at Sweet on Chocolate, a few blocks over from where the most recent reports of a shooting happened on Sunday. The last one was in late August. James Harper lives right down the street.
That's normal down there, but not here, not in this part of the city. It should be relatively safe down here. This is a business district.
It was news to Savannah Boyle, who just moved back to Syracuse from LA.
A moment of that's so terrible, and then there's a moment of course, everybody's going to focus on it.
Lieutenant Malinowski from the Syracuse Police Department says incidents like this shouldn't stop you from going downtown.
These things happen later at night when alcohol's involved, large gatherings, when the bars are letting out. So we just want to, don't want to discourage people from visiting Armory Square. And we do have multiple police officers that do patrol the area. Savannah
and Grace still proud of where they come from, even if shootings continue to happen in Armory Square.
It's a great city is what I think, and it's a really hard, conflicting moment when things like this happen.
You want to be happy and proud of your city and think that it's a safe place and a great place to live, and it is, but these are the realities of what happened when you live in this kind of area.
The investigation is still active and ongoing. This is the second time a shooting has happened in downtown Syracuse in the past 2 months. The other victim was also a 25-year-old. Reporting in Armory Square, Nicole Ponte, CitrusTV News.
Thanks, Nicole. Anyone with information regarding the investigation is urged to submit an anonymous tip by calling 911. The city of Syracuse has agreed to pay $500,000 to settle an excessive force lawsuit. Syracuse resident Tony Jennings filed a lawsuit alleging excessive force and racial profiling by 3 SPD officers. The president of the Syracuse Police Benevolent Association says the officers' use of force was appropriate. He also says they did their best to keep the public safe from a dangerous individual. The Citizens Review Board ruled the officers racially profiled, used excessive force, and conducted an illegal search.
Syracuse leaders took to City Hall to stand with the United Auto Workers. This afternoon, Syracuse Mayor Ben Walsh and Common Council member Helen Hudson participated in a solidarity rally. Hudson was previously a member of the UAW, the Central New York Area Labor Federation, and the Greater Syracuse Labor Council endorsed the event, saying Central New Yorkers feel a sense of solidarity with the auto workers and are standing up to support them.
You've heard this before. A box truck hit the Onondaga Lake Parkway Bridge this afternoon. The driver, who was delivering furniture to Fayetteville, has been issued 7 tickets. This is the first crash since the county implemented new signage and closed a ramp to try and prevent trucks from hitting the bridge.
A school resource officer at Auburn High School has been arrested after having inappropriate relations with a student. According to the Cayuga County District's office, William Morrissey has pled guilty to all charges. County DA Brittany Antonacci says her office plans to recommend a sentence of 4 years in prison with 10 years of supervision. She also says the student involved will be given an order of protection.
New reaction to our reporting on the race for Congress in central New York. A GOP county executive is telling CitrusTV News that Syracuse Congressman Brandon Williams is not familiar with the community, and the congressman's opponents say they agree. State Senator John Mannion tells CitrusTV, quote, "This is just further evidence that Brandon Williams doesn't know us. Unlike Williams, I live in NY22 and I've lived here my whole life."
Meanwhile, another Democrat running for Congress is DeWitt Town Councilor Sarah Clee Hood. She points out that this isn't the first time Williams has been criticized by his fellow Republicans. A spokesperson for the congressman told us he won't be giving any further comment on the story.
The New York State Education Department is prohibiting the use of facial recognition technology in local schools. Schools can still use biometric identifying technology such as fingerprints as long as they comply with guidelines for parental consent and civil rights of students. Education Department Commissioner Betty Rosa says that concerns about facial recognition aren't worth its benefits.
A cannabis regulation leader is pushing for more funding amidst the state's legal marijuana rollout. Chairman Joseph Belloc of the Cannabis Advisory Board says they have not been involved with the legal consumption rollout as they should. The board is pleading for more staff and budget increases in order to do their job. This comes as the Office of Cannabis Management plans to push out 4 new programs and license application forms for marijuana to combat illegal sellers.
9 neighboring police departments are implementing safe exchange zones for people selling items online. This comes after a Facebook Marketplace meetup went wrong when a woman was robbed trying to sell her Apple Watch. The safe zones offer video surveillance, proper lighting, high traffic, and officers nearby. The city of Syracuse has not yet created a similar type of zone. All safe zones are encouraged to be used by anyone from just about anywhere.
Coming up, a New York judge has ruled former President Donald Trump and the Trump Organization committed massive fraud.
And the Writers Guild of America is back to work. Find out the details of their new contract after the break.
Fancy pants peanut butter? A big screen television? You haven't even bought a sofa yet. A motorcycle? When your father finds out, he's gonna flip his shoes with 2 buckles? What do you even need 2 buckles for? Mr. Big Shot, buying whiskey shots for everybody in the bar. From the looks of it, I'd say nobody even remembers. Feed the pig.
Welcome to my house. Lately, not my happy place. Everybody's pretty tired of each other. The parents were not themselves. My little brothers were morphing into small creatures. The walls were closing in. Clearly, a case of too much family, too close, 24/7. And there's a lot of that going around right now. If this sounds like your house, try going someplace new. YourLifeYourVoice.org. You'll find lots of ideas to help you handle the family stresses of being confined to close quarters. YourLifeYourVoice.org. It might not get you out of the house, but it could help you find a little more breathing room.
You're watching CitrusTV News with Amber McElrath,
Oh, okay.
Jenna Bree,
Yeah.
Nicole Weaving, and Ricky Sayer. CitrusTV News, your campus news leader.
Welcome back to News Live at 6. A New York judge has found Donald Trump and his sons liable for fraud in a ruling yesterday evening. According to the ruling, the former president inflated the value of his assets and net worth by billions of dollars. As a result, the judge canceled the Trump Organization's business license, which could lead the business and properties, including Trump Tower, to be seized.
According to court documents, the Trump Organization valued Mar-a-Lago between $300 million and $700 million over the last 10 years. Meanwhile, the Palm Beach assessor valued the property at just $18 million and $28 million over that same period. TV and film writers are returning to work today after the Writers Guild of America and studios reached a tentative agreement this past Sunday.
The new contract addresses concerns members and over an evolving media landscape, including higher streaming revenues and regulations on AI. Members will also receive a minimum wage increase of 12.5% over the next 2 years, increased health care and pension contributions, and higher minimum staffing requirements for writers' rooms.
But Hollywood isn't entirely back to business. SAG-AFTRA represents actors and crew members and is yet to end their strike. Just yet. Yesterday, the union approved strike authorization for members working in the video game industry as they prepare to negotiate with major publishers like Activision, Epic Games, and Electronic Arts. That's EA Sports.
With SAG-AFTRA continuing their negotiations, it's still unknown when the TV and film industry will fully return to work.
And coming up on News Live at 6, no Ricky Sayer, but I will have your 5-day forecast. Stick with us.
Every time I hear the alarm bell go off in school, I think it's an air raid.
A lot of houses in our neighborhood have been destroyed. I like to close my ears and sing songs whenever the bombs come close.
I'm worried our new neighbors won't like us.
But I know it's all gonna be worth it. I just want my family to be safe. But these are not my words.
These are not my words.
These are not my words.
We get an opportunity to play the Clemson Tigers, and we enjoy that game.
Q's Countdown is live. We welcome you to a live edition of Q's Countdown.
Brand new year, time to right the wrong.
Welcome to an excellent episode of Live from Studio B. Yeah.
From the CitrusTV Weather Center, this is SU's most accurate weather forecast.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome back into News Live at 6. I'm Luke Radel, your weather anchor for this evening. Let's take a look at our weather when the sun goes down tonight at around 6:53 p.m. Taking a look at 54 degrees. Mostly clear skies tonight. It's been pretty clear all week now, and it's going to stay that way as we head into the weekend. But first, let's take a look at some of your temperatures across the region here in central New York. We got 70 degrees in Rome, 68 in Oswego, 66 in Penn Yan, a place I have never been before, but it sounds perfectly nice. And out in Utica, my hometown, it's 68 degrees, perfect weather to go out and walk your dog. And if I was home right now, I would be walking my dog. My dog's name is Button. She's right down there. She says hello to everybody watching right now. Citrus TV News Live in 6, including you, Maddie and Jesse. Let's take a look at our 5-day forecast. A sunny weekend ahead for you guys. A high of 72 tomorrow and a low of 47. High of 72 on Friday again. We're staying very consistent with mostly sunny skies out there. Saturday for the game, 76 degrees is our high. Perfect darty weather is what I'm hearing there. 77 degrees on Sunday, a low of 54. 79 degrees and sunny skies on Monday. Guys, this doesn't feel like fall in central New York at all. I have not been able to break out any of my sweaters yet. I'm getting a little bit disappointed. And the other thing we got to look at this weather is there's no rain in the foreseeable future. In fact, there is no rain in the forecast here in Syracuse for the next 10 days. Now, I don't know if you guys knew this, Maddie and Jesse, but the Salt City, Syracuse, is the second cloudiest city in the country. So to not have rain for this period of time is pretty ridiculous. So you can put those umbrellas firmly away, close them off. You don't need them for the next 10 days at least, but I'm sure we'll be getting plenty of precipitation soon, and we'll be saying, I wish we were back in September. Maddie and Jesse?
Loving the visuals, Luke. Thank you. And the WNBA has named their 2023 MVP, and it's a name that might be familiar to Central New York. Cicero North Syracuse alum Breanna Stewart took home her second MVP and adds this honor to an impressive resume. The former North Star is a two-time WNBA champion and two-time Finals MVP, in addition to 5-star call-ups, a Rookie of the Year, and 4 NCAA championships.
That's right, Stewart and the Liberty take on the Sun in Game 3 of the WNBA semifinals on Friday. But speaking of hoop schedule, Syracuse has its conference schedule. I'll break those down, including football as well, after the break.
It's a beautiful day out here. Sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it. Let's go.
Hey, Hard, what's this? That's my resignation letter. You're resigning? Why? Because you're constantly ignoring me. You're half as active as you used to be, and you eat stuff like this. You've been putting me under a lot of pressure lately. That's why I'm ready to quit. I forgot. I'll do better. Please, don't quit on me. Okay, but remember, it's not what you say. It's what you do.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you.
Let's go for a walk.
Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
And now, your Citrus TV Sports Report.
Sports, I'm Austin Barach. It's Clemson week, folks. Syracuse football welcomes Dabo Swinney's squad to the Dome this Saturday. The last time that the Tigers came to the 315, their quarterback was current Oregon State Signal caller DJ Uiagalelei. Sophomore QB Cade Klubnik leads Clemson now. Klubnik has never beaten a Power 5 team as a starter. Don't tell that to Cuse head coach Tino Babers, though. The head man is very impressed with what the quarterback has shown thus far. Well, we apologize for those technical difficulties. Couldn't get any sleep this week grinding that Klubnik tape. Last week against number four Florida State, though, Klubnik tossed for over 280 yards and totaled 2 touchdowns. Through 4 games, the Texas native has just 4 more passing yards than Cuse QB Garrett Schrader, who figured. The game is at noon on Saturday. Citrus TV's coverage begins at 10:30 a.m. with live Cuse countdown from just outside the Dome. Staying on the Hill, both men's and women's conference schedules were released yesterday. On the men's side, SU does not host Duke, but it does host Clemson, of course, after last season. Senior guard Joe Girard transferred to the Tigers. So, folks, circle the calendar for that matchup. He returns on Saturday, February 10th. There are 3 Saturday home games. Remember, last year was just 2. The year before it was 6. Also of note, Adrian Autry's squad has 3 straight home games, 2 different times. Now that we can see what the ACC matchup brings, we can see the full scope of these matchups. Of course, Syracuse goes to Hawaii in late November, comes back, plays LSU. Then they have a game in the middle of the country, Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Unbelievable stuff there. They go to Duke to start ACC play early on. They have tough games against Virginia, Carolina, and Duke as their first 3 conference games. That's really tough. And then, of course, that game at home against Carolina, February 13th. Flipping sides to the women's team, Felicia Leggett-Jack's team learned that ACC play begins for them on New Year's Eve against Notre Dame. The Orange have lost 4 straight versus the Irish, which includes a 16-point defeat last season in the JMA Dome. Women's Hoops closes out conference play on the leap year date, February 29th at NC State. And, you know, they play Duke as well in this stretch in February, but they have a lot of transfers going on. But Jesse and Maddie, I want to talk a bit about professional sports. A big trade just happened in the NBA. Damian Lillard has been traded to the Milwaukee Bucks. Part of that deal include all NBA guard Drew Holiday, now a member of the Portland Trail Blazers, but not for long perhaps. I know that the Blazers look to keep their young core together, so Holiday won't be part of those plans. Teams that have been linked to Holiday include your Bulls, your Celtics, my Celtics, Jesse, and the Philadelphia 76ers. I think it would be really cool to see him on the Celtics.
Man, I would love to have Drew Holiday there in Boston, especially after Marcus Smart goes away. You sort of need someone in that ball handling role to be a distributor. I think he'd be really impressive in staying in green, really.
Absolutely. I mean, the Bulls are a nice young team as well. I mean, Lonzo Ball's been out. It could be nice to maybe see him in red.
I agree. I think I want to see him in red, you know, as a Chicagoan at heart, and, you know, that's my hometown. I would love to see him there and maybe make it further than the playoffs this year.
Right.
Who knows? We'll see.
Now, Austin, you're going to have a hand in that live Q's countdown on Saturday, as will I.
Yeah,
but
that's right.
Syracuse and Clemson, that's a storied battle. What's your final score prediction?
Final score, oh boy, I've not thought about this a lot, but let's go with Syracuse 21, Clemson 20. The Orange get it done, pull off the upset.
Tight game again, but this time hopefully we come on top. We'll see.
Flip it up.
All right, well, when we return, Luke Radel will be in studio with your Wake Up Weather. Stay with us.
Hi, my name is Sadie Miller.
My name is Luke Brady. I go by St. Luke.
So this one I started with this guitar lick.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago, in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Hey there, everybody. Let's take one last look at your weather forecast for tomorrow. It's going to stay pretty consistent with what we had today. A little bit cooler out in the morning. You might want to grab a jacket before you head out. 54 degrees, but clear skies for the rest of the day, meaning it's going to heat right up. Our high is going to be 72 degrees. So when you head out of your classes or you head here to Citrus TV studio, it'll be around 70 degrees then. And then it's going to be dropped down to 67 degrees around this time tomorrow night. We're staying very consistent. Clear skies, sunny skies, and you know what? I like to see it for the time while we have it, guys, but you know what? I am looking forward to getting back briefly to having snow. I like the snow in Syracuse for the first couple of days when we're able to get like nice photos on Instagram and such.
Yes, when it's the fresh snowfall.
Right,
if you
but
will.
then when it's like mucky, crunchy, nasty snow, then I'm like, no, can we go back to 68 degrees?
Right, I'm like, after the holiday season, no more. Because I always just associate it with the slush and everything. But I do agree, I'm looking forward to the pretty 100%. Nice snowfalls.
Yeah.
But if you're feeling lucky, you might be able to land the 4th largest jackpot in Powerball history tonight. The grand prize has risen to $850 million ahead of tonight's drawing. Now, guys, What would you do if you won this money? We'll go down the line.
Oh,
See who has
I'm
the
gonna have
best.
to pass first. I'll come back to me.
Oh my goodness.
I gotta
Okay.
think about this.
I'd like to say that I'd pay off all my loans. I'd like to say that I'd help my family, but I'd be helping them in the form of season tickets to every sport, like Red Sox at home, Bruins, Celtics, Patriots. Just roll out the red carpet for everything.
Love
See,
that.
if we go back to that Trump fraud story tonight, I would buy Mar-a-Lago, but apparently it's not even worth that much money, so I could probably do a whole lot else with the money, so I'd have to figure that out too. Austin, what have you got?
Nothing about Trump. I'd probably drive out to Oregon and then drive down the coast, and then I'd have a lot more money to play with. Maybe, buy the Celtics, something like that.
Very
Hey,
nice.
we've already been up the coast in Alaska, so
Right,
I got
right.
everything.
Well, maybe one of us will get lucky tonight. We'll see. But that's all the time we have today on Citrus TV News.
For more of the latest, follow us at Citrus TV News on Twitter or check out our website at citrustv.com.
From all of us here at Citrus TV, have a great evening, Syracuse.